Hey, how are you?
Fine,
Good evening,
and you?
everybody. Buenos días. Bonjour. You want me to speak in Castellano, French, English, or Hebrew? We'll speak in English. English, okay.
English.
How are you, everyone? It's very excited to be with all of you. It's thank you very much, Arin, for invited me. It's something very nice, and I am enjoying from all of you. Just it's beautiful.
Thank you. Nourit, just to introduce her, she did a lot of things with nostalgia. A lot of, yes?
Yes, we have a lot of, I have classes of nostalgia. I'm also doing nostalgia in the Festival of Carmiel, and also in Camp Itnua in Eilat. I do all the part of the nostalgia, and I also have classes of nostalgia. I like it very much. And I have normal classes, but also nostalgia. It's my favorite.
Okay. Can I share your dance?
Yes. Which one?
Okay. Odd Nipagesh.
Opa.
The dance of Carmiel, right?
Yes. Yes. It's dance from Carmiel, yes.
Yes. Couple one.
לא הלילה ושקט עכשיו בגעגוע לראות לחבק אותך מה שעובר בי זה יותר ממילים יש כאן הכל אבל אין אותך את שוב עוברת ימים לא קלים איך את שומרת ומה עם החיוכים מה את חושבת זה קשה במילים יש כאן הכל אבל אין אותך עוד ניפגש ויהיה לנו טוב זה יהיה בקרוב קרוב שנינו ביחד יהיה לנו טוב אל תדאגי זה קרוב קרוב מה לספר לך וזה רק מכתב מה לתאר לך ואיך לעניין אותך מה לספר לך לא מוצא בי מילים יש כאן הכל אבל אין אותך עוד ניפגש ויהיה לנו טוב זה יהיה בקרוב קרוב שנינו ביחד יהיה לנו טוב אל תדאגי זה קרוב קרוב בא לו הלילה בשקט עכשיו
First, I want to say hi to Israel Yacobi, my dear friend. I see him here and I love him very much. And at this contest, that it was in 2009 in the Festival of Carmiel, we took the first place and Israel took the second place. Right, Israel? You remember it? And yeah. I want to say that it was my first dance. I heard the song and I went to my friend Marco and I told him, I want you to make with me a dance, and he told me, no, I don't like this song, it's not my spirit, it's not, and I told him, please listen again to this song because it's something very, very beautiful, and yes, and he did it with me, and we took the first place, my first dance. Okay.
You're great. Good job.
Yeah.
נכון שאת כאן ונכון שאת
ונכון את רוצה לאהוב, את אפילו יפה, עצובה וכואבת, ואולי יש בך הכל. נכון את קרובה, ונכון שאת מתרגשת, וגם יש לך מקום בשבילי. את אפילו יפה וכל כך מיוחדת, ואולי זה בעצם הכל. ואולי זו רק השלכת שעושה לי להיות קצת עצוב. אני כאן בשבילך, אז לאן את הולכת? ואולי זה לא חשוב.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We continue with, wow, Ayelet.
Okay, bye-bye everybody, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Nourit. Yes.
Hi. Great to be after three of my friends, Nourit, Orly. So fun to be here with you. We'll try to make this a little shorter so everybody has time.
I think we push the time.
Okay.
Okay. Be patient for the older woman, please. Don't leave. Okay.
So
Ayelet.
a little bit about myself.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be.
Wait. Nourit.
You can mute her. Anyway, I'm used to hearing her shout. She's one of my best friends. We're used to each other. Anyway, in 2 weeks, I'll be 57. I have 3 kids. I have 2 grandchildren.
Wow.
I've been dancing since I was 10. It's a long time. And I was teaching I was teaching also in the Army, but started teaching more professionally when I was in the States, and then we changed about almost 14 years ago. You've been to my session once. About full time, that's what we always remember, even after Corona, we're not dancing for a few months. And currently I have only one session. When it comes back, it's a circle session. About my dances, what would you like to hear or anything else? Actually, the first dance I choreographed with my husband, it was at Camp Rikud. There was a competition by Gadi. He made these 15 CDs. It was about, I think, almost 18 years ago. And he asked 15 people choreograph for the same music. And we won the competition with a couple dance called Medinat Ahava. And that was actually our first dance. And since then, we don't have that. I don't have that many. Some circles, some couple. The most popular one, I think, is Ayelet Bukai, which won in third place in Ashdod 2 years ago.
Yes.
I think you have it. And
yes.
There's also Zanadir that was in Carmiel. And
yes.
There's
exactly
one Part3 dance.
Okay. We share?
And I also have I used to broadcast on radio. It was my radio. It's called Radio Harkada, about 10, 11 years ago. And it was fun to me to come back to that now with the live shows that I'm doing on Facebook. But we'll see how long we'll keep going when we go back to dancing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We hope soon. First
so
dance, it's not showing the video that I
Which
have.
one?
I have a video, but it's not you inside.
Which dance?
Ayelet.
Danielle.
Yes, it's
but
Danielle.
there. You can show another one. I can find you the video where you can see the group, or you can see us. I don't care.
I'm looking if I find the yes.
There's the one from Carmiel, from Ashdod, from the competition.
Yes. Then Nadir.
Zanadir.
From Carmiel.
From Carmiel. Okay. So this is a very popular song. I couldn't believe there was no dance to it.
אנחנו פוחדים מהצל של עצמנו, נצמדים לקירות הבתים, ברוב הזמן מתביישים בגופנו, חופרים מקלטים, אנחנו נמלטים עם סיבה משוקעת, נדחקים לסירות משוטים, כל יבשה היא ספינה שטובעת כשחופרים מקלטים.
I haven't seen this video in a long time. I can see my
Okay, the next one. Maybe low.
Okay, thank you. Just maybe a few more words about myself. Some people ask me. Dancing is just a very small part of what I do. In the past, I used to be a dentist before we moved to the States in '98. We lived there for 8 years, where I made a change and I started to be a Java programmer. When we came back to Israel, I started working in the industry, and actually this year I decided to make another change, and I'm studying to be a computer science teacher. So this is just a tiny bit about me.
Great. I continue with its partner dance of you. And your husband, Dror.
Yes. So this
Ayelet
this
and Dror.
song is actually a song that it's a classic Israeli song, and which we love very much. I love it very much, and it was in the registry by different choreographers, and nobody ended up making a dance for it, so we took it and we made this dance that actually was taught in many places. Also, there's a video from Australia camp. Unfortunately, I think there's a few sessions still doing it, but we still love it. So, thank you for sharing it. יש לך אותי.
לכי ילדה אהובה אל חופים רחוקים, אל חלומות אחרים. יש עוד דרכים שאותם לא עברו מעולם, לכי איתם. קחי לך ילדה אהובה את תרמיל האתמול, יש בו כמעט את הכל. לכי ילדה אהובה כי עוד לא מאוחר, אל המחר. לא, לא, אל תשכחי, גם כשעצוב לך, יש לך אותי. לא, לא, אל תשכחי, אני כאן. אל תכעסי, אהובה, אם נתנו לך לחשוב, אין כאן מקום לאהוב. פעם היה זה חלום שאליו מגיעים ממקומות אחרים. לא, לא, אל תשכחי, גם כשעצוב לך, יש לך אותי. לא, לא, אל תשכחי, אני כאן. ואני כבר עייפתי מאוד, על שנים אבודות לא הפקרות, שביקשתי למצוא את הסוף, זה שגם לך מחכה. אל תכעסי, אהובה, אם נתנו לך לחשוב, אין כאן מקום לאהוב. פעם היה זה חלום שאליו מגיעים ממקומות אחרים. לא, לא, אל תשכחי, גם כשעצוב לך, יש לך אותי. לא, לא, אל תשכחי, אני כאן.
It's a beautiful one.
Thank you.
Ready?
Yeah,
And music?
we love it. It's a little bit complicated, you know. Some dances they're just not. Timing is everything, and sometimes you know it just doesn't work this way. But I know that there's this women's session in New York that they still do it to date, and it's been years now.
Hi, Karina. Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
I was waiting for you to unmute me.
Just to
Hi,
let you
everyone.
know, Rina is doing my assistant. Rina from Boston. Yes. She's doing. Okay, how are you?
Good. Well, hi. First of all, I want to apologize because I was working, so I joined late, and I'm so moved by so many people here in this meeting today that I admire so much. and that I've learned from. Many of you don't even know who I am, and it's okay because I've been learning from so many of you, and I'm so inspired, and I appreciate Ariane so much for doing this because I think it's so necessary. I don't know if this was said before, but it's just so amazing. I'm truly moved by this, and I want to thank you so much for doing it. I'm Karina. I'm originally from Argentina, and I started dancing when I was around 10 years old, and I never stopped, and I'm very old now, but I'm not saying my age. When I started dancing, my idols, or like the way I started dancing was with people who were kind of like untouchable: Shlomo Maman, Shmuley Govari, Israel Yacobi, and I would study their dances on papers, and I would follow the steps. And so then to be able to meet all of them and learn from them in person, it's been an experience that changed my life forever after moving to the US 18 years ago. And what I wanted to say also, I don't know if this was said or not, but besides the fact that many of us here created something or have been created for a long time, many of us, and I could even name many of here in the meeting, many of us have been helping male choreographers look good in their own dances by dancing with them and showcasing with them many of the things that they choreograph, right? And this is the time for us also, as Ariane is doing, to recognize that we have a big impact in this world because we are way more women than men. And I also want to appreciate all of the male teachers and choreographers who are joining this session today.
Thank you. Thank you. And I didn't hear if you spoke about this, but she's amazing yoga teacher. You need to follow her in the channel, in YouTube channel. She helped me a lot.
When I moved from Argentina, I used to be what it's called here in the US a social worker. It was truly like therapy with kids and with learning disabilities, but it was very hard in America to do my title work here, so I stopped doing that and I kept going with Israeli folk dancing, which I did ulpan in Argentina. In Argentina there is ulpan like in Israel, so I learned how to be a more Bailarikud Event teacher, and then I kept dancing and teaching since I was 17. I started teaching, and then when I moved to the US, I kept doing the Israeli folk dancing, and then I did a course to become a yoga teacher, and that's what I'm doing full time.
Okay, sharing the dance. One dance of you. Shalom La'ava.
That must be long ago.
is Orly.
Hi.
Hi, Orly.
Such a-
Orly is to introduce her a bit, is the most energetic woman in Bailarikud Event.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this and for inviting me also to be one of your guests. I think it's very important because as a woman, it's not about recognition. It's about being so passionate and putting so much of yourself into something, and to finally, in a sense, be appreciated for it. It's so uplifting, and I think it fills all of our hearts with joy, and it just motivates us to do more and to really, really connect and intertwine with everybody else who's participating in folk dancing, whether they're a choreographer or a dancer or a director of a camp. I think it just really, truly brings us together, and it creates the community that we want to achieve.
Thank you. I want to share 2 new dance of you because we saw you every day on Facebook, and that's not your new dance, right?
But before you show it, I just want to say one thing, if it's okay. The reason why I started, well, first of all, I was born in Israel. A lot of people don't know this, and I moved to LA when I was 7, but I never did folk dancing until I was 19 years old, and somebody took me to David Doss's session, and I truly fell in love with it. The only dance background I had was ballet. And the reason why I wanted to start choreographing is because I really wanted to inject a more kind of youthful spirit and kind of a fresh vibe to bring the younger generation to folk dance. I felt like that was kind of missing. So my first dance was a hip hop line dance, and I started with line dances, and then eventually, you know, I went into the circle dances. But I think like that's something that's truly missing, and it was very hard. The only reason my dances were shown is because I was assisting David Dawson, and he had Camp Ricud. Had it not been for Camp Ricud, I don't think anybody would have known anything that I've choreographed. So I think that we're so thankful for the people who did give us those opportunities and took chances and taught our dances, and that's it. Just made it part of the community.
Thank you. I want to share the two new dance of you did just before the Corona time in the Camp Shelanu. She's a director of the Camp Shelanu in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
And I want to share the line dance Comme ci comme ça, the French song, and Imperia.
Ooh, okay. This is not the best.
Yeah.
Stéphane Le Picard, let's get it. Israël magnifique, mais un peu problématique. Chez nous on disait votre pique, c'est comme ça c'est la sur la vie, y'a tout de tout sans déconner. C'est toujours pas parfait, attends je vais tout expliquer. Hey, Gatino, Michel, un petit comme ça. Vacances au ski sur le Vermont. Les mademoiselles en Israël, la oulala. Let's get it. Israël est magnifique, mais un peu problématique. Chez nous on dit c'est magnifique, comme ça c'est un trick. Par exemple sur la vie, y'a tout de tout sans déconner. Mais c'est toujours pas parfait, attends je vais tout expliquer. Hey, peut-être tu fais la Paris, à faire cannibali machine. Les mademoiselles en Israël, oulala, oulala, oulala. Comme c'est, comme ça, comme c'est, comme ça, comme c'est, comme ça, comme c'est, comme c'est,
one is Imperia.
We'll be live here in the video, on the video.
Great.
Yeah, that was Eli.
Thank you. Next, I have to mention that Yonika was the camp director for Comuna for 14 years and 7 for Labor Day Minicamp. And the next one is Yael Twito. No sound? Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Fun. And you?
I'm fine. You
Yeah?
know where I am?
In your session? No.
No, I'm not in my session. There's no session yet. We're making a private dancer now, but it's not a real session. Not more than 20 people.
Okay.
But it's still fun, and it's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. תביא את התיק שלי, מי שם אחר כך. ממש תודה, אני אקח את זה, אני פשוט צריכה להיות בזום. So,
Can you speak a bit about you?
So what can I tell about? I can tell you that I'm dancing since I can say that since I was in my mother.
Wait, Yael,
yeah.
can I just wait? Can you stop to move, please?
Yeah. No, wait. I went out from a shop. I'm going to sit here, and then I will talk and I will speak with you.
Okay.
Now, I'm saying that I'm dancing since I was born. Really, my father was a big dancer, famous dancer. He was he was I forgot the name. Now maybe I'm exciting. He was a miracle boy, something like this. He was dancing steps and flamenco. My father came from Spain. And since I was a small girl, I used to dance with him ballroom dancing. I used to dance rock and roll and zumba, cha-cha, tango, since I was like 2 years old. But so for me to dance, it's not just a way of life. It is a way of life, but it is more like oxygen. For me, it's like to breathe. If I'm not dancing, it's like I'm not alive. I don't want that God will hear me and he will say, maybe I will check you. Because for me, the most important thing is to dance, even more than teach. For me to dance this is my way of life. I love it. And I start to teach and not Israeli folk dances. I was a choreographer and teacher for folk for jazz, and I was also teaching salsa, ballroom dancing, and I was working with schools, high schools, and also groups that used to perform. I was making the choreography for them, from children to old people. This is and when I was dancing, one day I came to make in a camp a salsa session and ballroom dancing. And Gadi Beaton told me, why you are not teaching Israeli folk dances? This is your specialty, because I used to dance every day, everywhere. I can be one day in Be'er Sheva and one day in Tzfat or Kiryat Shmona. If you know the places, it's from side to side, just to go and dancing. And when I was, Gadi told me, come and maybe try to teach, because you're a good teacher. When I make the camp and I make salsa session and the ballroom dancing, and I said, okay. You know, the big fear of me was that if I will start to teach Israeli folk dances, maybe the political things will ruin the love of dance, and maybe it will make me less dancer and more teacher, and maybe, so I didn't want from the beginning. But after that, I took the course. I finished the course as I get excellent teacher, something like that. It is in Hebrew, סיימה בהצטיינות יתרה. So I was like very good in this. And then I start to work with Gadi. I love it. I love the people. I love to teach. And by the time, I started to do also a dance of my own. Before of that, I used to help Gadi and other teachers when they were stuck when they are making the dancing. So I used to help a little bit and give advices how to do maybe here movement or here a sentence of movement, how to dance. And after that, I start to make mine. I have to say, I don't know, I didn't hear so much, too much the way that you talk. It's not easy to be a woman in this. I know that maybe I'm telling something, I don't know, but it's not easy to be a woman, a teacher woman in Israel, I don't know, outside, abroad. Because I feel that the more, the power that the men have it in their hands. But we are not good. We are not less good than the men. And I think even sometimes, I don't want to say better, because we are good and they are very good also. But it's very difficult to spread our dances when we are doing, because people like, first of all, most of the people who dance are more women than men, and they like men. Okay, it's the nature, I think. But we have also nice dances, and it's not easy to spread them, as I said before. But still, we are trying, and I think that by the time, little by little, we are doing a very good dance. We used to do. Also, not just me, I'm talking about other women. And I hope that we'll get enough, well, I don't know, conscious, or מודעות. Awareness, הכרה, to try to do much better with our dances. That's what I have to say. And this is me. I have 2 children, a very handsome guys, 2 boys, and I'm married one time to one guy, and it's like 25 years, almost 25 years, and everything that I'm doing, what I said, everything that I'm doing is, first of all, and most of the things for the dance, for the dancers, and just, to breathe dance. This is what I have to say.
Thank you. I just want to say for Yael, every time she invites me when I came, she gives me the opportunity to teach every time I came in Israel. So thank you,
Yeah.
Yael. I want to
thank
share
you.
the dance from last year. You did it for Ashdod.
Okay.
I miss Ashdod, so
I hope it will be. I don't know if it will be now, but it will come again.
Yeah.
And they didn't say yes the last word for that, but I think they're going to cancel it now this year.
Yeah.
שמי יעל טוויטו, ימין, תימנית נמרת הסיום, ריבונה.
I love the place in Ashdod. I love this place. Thank you, Yael.
ערב טוב,
ערב טוב.
טוב לכולם. תודה לך אריאן שהזמנת אותי, אני מאוד מתרגשת.
תודה.
נמצאת איתי גם פה יפית שמרקידה איתי.
Yes, yes. Hi, Yafit.
Hi, Ariane.
Can you speak a bit about shortly from you, Osnat? When you start to dance?
אני אדבר בעברית כי אני קצת חלשה באנגלית.
Okay, Rinat, can you translate? Rina.
לא הבנתי.
היא שאלה את רינה אם היא יכולה לתרגם.
Me? Sure.
Thank you, Rina.
רינה תתרגם.
אוקיי, אני התחלתי לרקוד לפני כערך 6 שנים.
She started dancing 6 years ago.
Yes. ומאז יצרתי 3 ריקודים. 3 ריקודי
dances, circle dances.
ו2 ריקודי ילדים.
And 2 children's dances.
כן. נמצאת איתי גם הבת שלי דרך אגב.
This is her daughter. Hi, שלום.
שלום, והיא עכשיו גם נכנסה איתי ככה לרקוד קצת.
And now she started dancing with her too a little bit.
כן, יש לנו עקדה לי וליפית בבית שאן, ועקדת נשים של מתחילות,
She has a beginner's women's session in Beit Shean.
Yes. וזהו, אז יש לנו 3 ריקודים. הריקוד הראשון שלי נקרא יש לי חלום, של אמיר בניון.
The first dance is called יש לי חלום.
ששר אותו אמיר בניון.
That Amir Benayoun sings.
Yes, בניון, הוא ב-2017, וב-2018 הוצאתי את לב טהור.
That was in 2017. In 2018, she choreographed Lev Tahor.
כן, וב-2019 את הריקוד להאמין.
And in 2019, מה השם?
להאמין.
להאמין.
To believe.
Yes. Osnat, are you okay? I share להאמין? להאמין?
להאמין.
להאמין? כן?
כן. אני ארקוד אותו?
לא. I share. Don't worry. Okay.
לחיות לתת מכל הלב לתת מכל הלב, כל נפש לקרב, להתרגש מכל מילה טובה, לחיות כאיש אחד ולהודות לעד על כל מה שיבוא באהבה, לראות למרחקים שיש ימים טובים שמחכים רק לשעה יפה ולרגע
Is mine? I don't know what's happened. Wait. I have a problem. Sorry. Come back. It's okay.
יש רגע של ברכה, ואין לו כמו כוחה של אמונה. להאמין, מהשמיים נפתחים להאמין, בכל שירת המלאכים שמבקשים, לשמור אותנו ילדים של החיים. להאמין, עם כל הלב והנשמה להאמין, שיש לי בשביל מגיע חיים, מכל מקום תמיד אליך מחייכים. לקחת מהדרש בכל יום מחדש, לקום תמיד עם רוח חדשה, בלי לאבד את תקווה, לבוא באהבה, לסלול את הדרכים להצלחה, לראות למרחקים שיש ימים טובים שמחכים רק לשעה יפה ולרגע חשכה יש רגע של ברכה ואין עוד כמו כוחה של אמונה. להאמין והשמיים נפתחים להאמין לכל שירת המלאכים שמבקשים לשמור אותנו ילדים של החיים. להאמין עם כל הלב והנשמה להאמין כל עוד שיש לי בשביל מגיע חיים מכל מקום תמיד אליך מחייכים.
Great. She's a beautiful dancer. You're a beautiful dancer. Really. Toda. We switch to Sophie. Sophie from London, England.
Hello,
Yes.
Ariane.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for this program. It's been amazing. It's been so interesting and learnt so much about the history and everything. It's been brilliant. So thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for all the women who have participated.
She's a new choreographer.
Yes.
She
I've
do
been,
a beautiful dance that you have to learn.
started in the I mean, my mother has been dancing forever, so I sort of have been in the Israeli dancing world, but I really got involved in Mocho Europa in 2012, and since then I've been dancing a lot, and I made this dance that Ariane's about to show in 2017, Kat Sefer Tintut, because I liked the music and it was fun, and yeah.
And you're lucky because I have some picture of you more than 10 years ago.
Oh no.
No, I didn't think it's, don't worry, I'm not sharing.
Okay, good.
So I want to share with you one dance she did in Marol Europa in 17,
yes,
I think. The name is Kat Sefet Imtut. Good?
Yes, excellent.
בת הכרנו מאז, הלב שלי בכושר, מה קורה לי? היא מתה על הדרבי בדיוק כמוני, לא בקטע של שופי. לא ססרתי, מתארגנת 10 דקות, מה יכולתי לבקש, רק אישה כזאת. שמתי לב שאני בה מאוד.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sophie. The next one is Orly. Mute. Orly. Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Wow, it's a very long session and very...
Sorry
I don't have words.
For the waiting and everything for everybody. You are so many women.
Yes, we must have another session like this, I think.
Okay. Okay. I want to, can you speak up very quick, fast about you?
Yes, very quick. I started to dance Israeli folk dancing when I was 7 years old, like second grade, I think. We have in elementary school. And when a few years later, my father went to beginners and I went with him every time. While I was surfing, I think, once in the Israel Shiker session, he told me, come and teach with me a couple dance. I told him, but I don't know the dance. How can I teach? And then that was the time that I knew that I'm going to teach Israeli folk dancing. It was the thing that helped me in school. I hated school, but I liked the sessions of the folk dancing. When I grew up, my dream was to be an Israeli folk dance teacher, but I went to learn computer science, and I worked 20 years in computer science in the Open University of Israel. But my heart couldn't help it, and a few years ago I went to do the course, and I started working with kids in school and with grown-ups. My couple dance, Homaye, I heard it when I was 21 in the car, and I had the dance in my hand, and then went for one of the male teachers back then, one of the biggest, and he told me, no, it's not good song, don't do the dance on this song, take the steps and move them for another song. But the dance waited for me for more than 20 years. And I think everything has its time.
Yes.
It was quick and short.
Yeah. I share your couple dance. It could start to be famous just before the Corona time.
Yes.
In Israel.
But just another word.
Yes.
Quick. I'm writing a book, and in my book I'm touching in the women that we talked in the first session, the first hour, for people to aware about how our culture has been built, and no one knows it in Israel. So I think we must talk about it, and that was a great session of you.
Thank you. It's a great
Thank
music.
you.
And